She told me she never wants kids ever. I agreed. Then I found prenatal vitamins and texts to her ex saying I want your baby, he doesn't deserve one. When I confronted her she smirked. He has better genes anyway. I didn't argue. Just sent everything to her parents and his wife. Hey viewers, real quick, only 8% of you watching are subscribed and the channel's kind of stuck right now. If you enjoy these stories, hitting that subscribe button would really help us keep going. Thanks. I'm Brian 33M and what happened 3 weeks ago still has me questioning everything I thought I knew about the woman I was living with. Been with Rachel 28F for almost 2 years. Met her at a friend's wedding where she was going on about how marriage and kids were just society's way of trapping people. Said she was career focused and never wanted children ever. Perfect for me since I wasn't ready for kids either. We had this whole conversation about being child free and how refreshing it was to find someone on the same page. She moved into my house about 6 months ago. Things were good. We both worked demanding jobs, traveled when we could, had our own space when we needed it. The no kids thing came up regularly and she was always adamant about it. I'm not built for motherhood, Brian. Never have been, never will be. Kids would ruin everything I've worked for. 3 weeks ago I'm doing laundry and find a bottle of folic acid supplements in her jacket pocket. Not the regular kind. The prenatal formula specifically for women trying to conceive. The bottle was about a quarter empty. My first thought was maybe she had an iron deficiency or something. But when I looked closer the bottle was from a fertility clinic, not a regular pharmacy. I put them back and didn't say anything. Figured there had to be some explanation. That night Rachel gets a text while we're watching TV. Her phone lights up on the coffee table and I see the name Trevor with a message preview that said can't wait to see you tomorrow. Trevor, her ex-boyfriend from college. The one she claimed was ancient history but somehow still had his number saved with a little heart emoji. She grabbed the phone fast but not fast enough. Who's Trevor, I asked. Just someone from work. We're meeting about a project tomorrow. Lie. Trevor worked at a different company completely. Since when do coworkers text about missing each other? It's not like that. He's just being friendly. Doesn't mean anything. Friday morning Rachel leaves for work early. Says she has meetings all day and might be late getting home. After she left I noticed her laptop was still open on the kitchen counter. She'd been looking at her email and forgot to close it. I wasn't planning to snoop but I saw an open browser tab with her messaging app still logged in. The Trevor conversation was right there. What I read made my stomach drop. Rachel 2 weeks ago got the supplements from the clinic today. Doctor says with my cycle I should start next week. Trevor, perfect timing. Sarah's out of town for work most of this month. Good. We need to be smart about this. Once I'm pregnant I'll tell Brian it was an accident, see how he reacts. What if he wants to keep it? Then I'll string him along until I can figure out a clean exit. If not I'll just tell him the truth and move in with you. And if Sarah finds out she won't. You said she never checks your phone. Besides I want your baby, not his. Brian doesn't deserve one anyway. I kept reading. 2 weeks of planning my replacement. 2 weeks of them setting up their future while I paid for everything. The worst message was from last week. Rachel, Brian asked me hypothetically what I'd do if I got pregnant accidentally. Told him I'd probably keep it since we're stable. He ate it right up. Poor guy has no clue. He has better genes anyway. Smarter, better looking, more successful. Our kid will thank me for choosing the right father. There it was. I wasn't her boyfriend. I was her temporary support system while she planned to have another man's baby. I took photos of the conversations with my phone, then closed the laptop and went to work like nothing happened. Friday night Rachel comes home around 11 p.m. looking satisfied with herself. Sorry babe, meetings ran super late. I'm exhausted. How was your project with Trevor? She paused for just a second. Fine. Boring technical stuff. Must have been really involved. You were gone for 13 hours. It was complicated. Lots of details to work through. I bet there were. Saturday morning I decided to confront her directly. Rachel, can I ask you something? Sure. Are you trying to get pregnant? Her face went white. What? No. Why would you ask that? I pulled out the supplement bottle because I found these fertility supplements from a clinic. The lie came instantly. Those aren't for pregnancy. My doctor recommended them for my energy levels. These are specifically for conception. It says so right on the bottle. Well, that's what the clinic had available. Same nutrients. I pulled out my phone and showed her the photos of her messages. Rachel, I know about Trevor. She stared at the screen for a long moment. Then something changed in her expression. The mask came off. How long have you been spying on me? Long enough to know you've been planning to have his baby while living in my house. She actually smiled, a cold, calculating smile. And that's your response, Brian? We're adults. People change their minds about things. I found someone better. Someone better who won't let you move in with him. So you're using me for free housing? Trevor has a wife. Like we have to be discreet until he can handle that situation. Handle that situation, you mean until he destroys his marriage for you? He will when the time is right. I stared at her. So what was the plan? Get pregnant, tell me it's mine, and hope I'd raise Trevor's kid. That was one option. Depends how you handled the news. And if I didn't want kids then I'd tell you the truth and move out. Either way I get what I want, which is Trevor's baby. He has better genes anyway. Smarter, more ambitious, better looking. Our children will be superior to anything you could produce. The sheer arrogance was breathtaking. Superior. Come on, Brian. Look at yourself realistically. You're fine for paying bills and providing stability, but you're not exactly prized genetic material. That was it. The conversation was over. I walked away without another word. Saturday afternoon Rachel left to spend the weekend with her friend Kelly. At least that's what she told me. Probably going to Trevor's place while his wife was out of town. Time to execute my plan. 1 week later. Thanks for all the support in the comments, really helped me realize I wasn't overreacting to the situation. After Rachel left Saturday I started gathering more evidence, printed out all the message conversations and did some research on Trevor. Turns out he's married to a woman named Sarah who works for an airline company. Explains the out-of-town travel Rachel mentioned. Found Sarah's social media pretty easily. She posts about their life together constantly. Recent photos of them at dinner, vacation trips, even posts about trying to start a family themselves. Perfect. So Trevor was trying to get 2 different women pregnant at the same time. Sunday I drove to Rachel's parents' house, conservative religious family that thinks their daughter walks on water. water. They live about 30 minutes away in this perfect suburban neighborhood. Her mom Linda answered the door looking surprised but happy to see me. Brian, what a lovely surprise. Rachel didn't mention you were coming by. Actually, Linda, I need to talk to you and Robert about something important concerning Rachel. Of course, dear. Come in. Robert's in his study. We sat down in their immaculate living room. Family photos everywhere showing Rachel's accomplishments over the years. Linda, Robert, this is very difficult for me to share, but I need you to know what Rachel has been doing. I handed them printed copies of the message conversations. These are texts between Rachel and her ex-boyfriend Trevor. They're planning to have a baby together while she's been living with me. Robert read for about a minute before his face started changing. Linda made it through one page before she had to sit down. This can't be right, Linda said. Rachel told us she never wants children. She's always been adamant about that. She told me the same thing. Turns out she was lying to both of us. Robert was still reading. She's saying you're not good enough to father children, that this Trevor person has better genes. That's what hurt the most. And she's been lying about her whereabouts for weeks, maybe longer. Linda looked at the fertility clinic information. She told us she was seeing a nutritionist for her energy problems. She told me they were for energy too. Robert set down the papers. Brian, I owe you an apology. We raised Rachel to have values and integrity. This is not the person we thought she was. I don't blame you. I lived with her and had no idea this was happening. What are you planning to do? I've already asked her to move out, but I thought you should know what's really going on before she comes to you with some soba story. They both nodded grimly. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, Linda said. We'll need to have a serious conversation with Rachel. There's one more thing. Trevor is married. His wife has no idea any of this is happening. Robert's jaw tightened. Rachel is knowingly participating in adultery. According to these messages, yes. I left their house feeling like I'd done the right thing. They promised to confront Rachel about her choices. Next stop was finding Sarah. I looked up the airline she worked for and found their employee directory online. Made some calls and found out she was flying back into town Sunday night. Monday morning, I called the airline's main office and asked to speak with Sarah about a personal matter. The receptionist was hesitant, but I explained it concerned her husband and she agreed to take my call. Sarah, my name is Brian. I don't know you, but I think your husband Trevor is having an affair with my girlfriend. Silence for about 10 seconds. Can you hold on? I need to step into a private office. 5 minutes later, she was back on the line. Brian, what makes you think Trevor is having an affair? I have text messages between him and my girlfriend Rachel talking about having a baby together. Having a baby, they've been planning it for weeks. She's been taking fertility supplements and timing everything around your travel schedule. Another long pause. Can you send me these messages? Absolutely. Do you have an email address? We spent 20 minutes on the phone while I sent her everything. Her responses got shorter and angrier as she read through the conversations. Brian, how long has this been going on? Based on what I found, at least 2 weeks of active planning. But they could have been talking longer and your girlfriend lives with you. She did until this weekend. I asked her to move out after I discovered everything. Good for you. I wish I'd known sooner. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. I'm glad I found out at all. Thank you for calling me. Tuesday, Rachel tried coming back to my house. I changed the lock Sunday night and left her belongings in boxes by the front door. She called me screaming about being locked out. Brian, what is this? Why doesn't my key work? Because you don't live here anymore. Your stuff is outside. You can't just kick me out. I have rights. Your name isn't on anything. You've been staying here as a guest. Guest privileges are revoked. This is illegal. I'm calling the police. Go ahead, tell them you want to break into your ex-boyfriend's house. She hung up and called back 10 minutes later. My parents want to talk to you. I already talked to them. They know everything. That shut her up immediately. 2 weeks later, the aftermath has been even more dramatic than I expected. Rachel's world has completely imploded in the past week. First, the family situation. Robert called me Tuesday night after they confronted Rachel. Brian, we had a long conversation with Rachel yesterday. She initially tried to deny everything, but the evidence was overwhelming. How did she explain it? She claimed you were emotionally unavailable and she found comfort with Trevor. Said the pregnancy plan was just fantasy talk that got out of hand. Fantasy talk. That's what she called it. We didn't buy it for a second. What did you tell her? That she needs to find somewhere else to live? We can't have her bringing this kind of drama into our home. Harsh but fair. She also asked us for money. Said she needed help getting an apartment. After what she did, we declined. Told her she needs to take responsibility for her own choices. Wednesday brought news about Trevor's situation. Sarah called me with an update. Brian, I confronted Trevor with the messages last night. He admitted everything. How did that go? He tried to minimize it at first. Said it was just emotional support for an old friend, but the fertility clinic evidence was too specific. What's your plan? I'm filing for divorce. Already contacted a lawyer and we're moving forward immediately. I'm sorry it came to this. Don't be. Better to know now than find out later when there's actually a baby involved. Thursday, Rachel showed up at my workplace. Security had to escort her out after she started yelling about me ruining her life. You destroyed my relationship with my family. You destroyed your relationship with your family. I just told them the truth and Trevor's wife. You had no right to contact her. She had every right to know her husband was planning to father children with someone else. We weren't actually going to go through with it. The fertility supplements say otherwise. Friday brought the most satisfying update. Kelly, Rachel's friend, called me. Brian, Rachel asked if she could stay with me temporarily. I wanted to hear your side before I decided. Kelly, did she tell you about the pregnancy plan with Trevor? She said you misunderstood some innocent messages. I sent Kelly the same screenshots I'd shown everyone else. She called back an hour later. Oh my God, Brian, I had no idea. She can't stay here, I understand. She's been lying to everyone, even me. I asked her directly if she was seeing someone else and she denied it. She's been lying to everyone for weeks. Where is she going to go? That's not my problem anymore. 1 month later, time to close this chapter. It's been about 7 weeks since I found the fertility supplements and discovered Rachel's breeding program with Trevor. Rachel ended up having to move in with some coworkers she barely knew. Apparently even her extended family wants nothing to do with her after word spread about the affair and pregnancy scheme. The Trevor situation imploded spectacularly. Sarah's divorce is moving fast since she has documentation of his planned adultery. He's already moved out of their house and is staying in some extended stay hotel. Best part is Trevor completely ghosted Rachel once his marriage blew up. Turns out planning a baby together was a lot more appealing when he thought his wife would never find out. Rachel tried contacting me 2 weeks ago claiming she was pregnant and it might be mine. I reminded her that her messages specifically talked about timing everything around her cycle and Trevor's availability. Plus we hadn't been intimate in over a month before I found out. She backed down real quick when I offered to pay for a paternity test that would be made public. Last week I ran into Linda at the grocery store. She looked embarrassed but stopped to talk. Brian, how are you holding up? I'm doing well, Linda. Thanks for asking. I want you to know we're still processing everything Rachel did. We had no idea she was capable of this level of deception. I didn't either until I saw it in black and white. She's been asking to come home, but we told her she needs to figure out her own life first, probably for the best. You handled this situation with remarkable maturity. Rachel lost a good man. I appreciate you saying that. As for me, life is peaceful again. The house feels like mine. My finances are back under control and I'm not constantly wondering what schemes are being planned behind my back. Started seeing someone new about 2 weeks ago. Met Jennifer at a bookstore. She's a teacher, has her own apartment, and when she says she's not interested in having kids right now, I actually believe her. Revolutionary concept. The best revenge was just stepping back and letting Rachel face the natural consequences of her choices. She wanted Trevor's superior genes and a secret family plan. She got a deadbeat ex hiding in a hotel room and burned bridges with everyone who actually cared about her. Sometimes the perfect revenge is just telling the truth and letting people see who someone really is. Rachel chose genetic superiority over loyalty and honesty. Now she gets to enjoy those superior genes all by herself while figuring out how to rebuild her entire life from scratch. Superior choice indeed.